Hey everybody, it is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketers Den. You know, I've been in this industry for a lot of years, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I decided I needed to get back into the swing of things and help network marketers because I keep getting asked the same questions. The same questions from 20, 25 years ago are still active today. And I'll tell you, one of them that is asked all of the time has to do with building a high-performing team. How do I have a high performance with my team? How do I find people that are really hungry? What do I do? What do I do? How come I've got all these people and they aren't doing anything? Well, there's a lot of reasons. You know, right before I recorded this, I had a coaching session with one of my private clients, and she's doing really, really well. And I always ask my clients, you know, tell me what's going well. And then, of course, we go to the flip side. What are you struggling with? And she immediately talked about, you know, I've got a chance to earn this incentive, but I'm doing my part, but my team isn't doing their part. So that's what we talked about for a good hour. So there's a lot to it, but here's what it amounts to. There's a couple things that you can do, and we're going to go over them, but it really is this simple, is you've got to have more people, and because you want them active, right? And the other thing that you have to do is they have to be actively selling, because just because you've got the people and you have the bodies, if you will, doesn't mean that you're getting the sales. And at the end of the day, there isn't anybody that doesn't get paid on sales, whether it's your personal sales, whether it's your team sales, the company all depends on sales. It's all about selling product. It's all about the product. So just keep that in mind. If you want a high performing team, you have to be selling product. So I hear it all of the time. I need others to sell more. I need these people to do this. You see, it's not about you. It really and truly is about them. The only way, as Zig Ziglar says, is that you're going to achieve your goals is if you help enough people to achieve their goals. And it all starts with you knowing what their goals are. So if you want to have a high performing team, you have to know what they're going after, what their goals and dreams are. So remember, it's not about you, it's about them. It's the old adage, there's no I in team, okay? So it's not about you, it is about them. The most successful network marketers have built solid teams. And a solid team is a team that is selling product, is performing well. What you have to know right off the bat is you're not going to have 100% of the people on your team be successful. That's just not going to happen. That's not real world. But if you can increase the number of people that are active and are earning money, you're absolutely going to win. So, you know, it's kind of a slippery slope. I guess you could say it's a little bit tricky. Yes, you've got to recruit. You absolutely have to recruit. And I'll tell you, people that stop recruiting because their teams are built large are going to fail. You know, because eventually people will be leaving and you've got to constantly be replacing. And if you want to grow your business, you have to add new people. So it's a combination of recruiting and developing those new people. What many fail to mention is that it's about retention. It's recruiting and retention. Because if you just bring them on and a month later they're gone, all you've done is get back on that hamster wheel. And Lord knows that's not a fun place to be. You know, the industry has on average about a 95% turnover. So, but there are things that you can do to avoid that hamster wheel, if you will. If you don't avoid that hamster wheel, that come and go, the revolving door, whatever you want to call it, you're never, ever going to get ahead. So the real question is, how the heck do you stop that revolving door? How do you stop that hamster wheel? How do you stop them from leaving? Well, it's this simple. And it's so simple, you're going to go, duh, but then that's the how do I do that? But at the end of the day, if people are earning enough money and they're having fun, and usually if you're earning enough money, you're having fun, they don't leave. They don't leave. So what you've got to do is it has to start at the very beginning. The very beginning when they start. Now, if you've got people on your team that have been with you a long time, it's a little bit more difficult, but you know what? We give them the opportunity to learn. But when you've got a brand new person that you bring on board, you want to think about it this way. You have just given birth. You've just given birth to a new distributor. Okay, you've got to change the mindset about it's just recruiting. No, it is teaching people to earn money, teaching people how to sell product, teaching people how to build a team. That's what it's about. So it really and truly does start at the very beginning. Okay. So keep that in mind. So when you bring a new person on board, don't make the mistake of just saying, just follow the process. Take this training, get on this call. Okay, that's great. And that's duplication. But what's missing is you. You are the missing piece. So when you have a new distributor, you really want to think in terms of sticking with them, stick close with them till they ramp up and get going. Okay. Remember when you were a brand new distributor and the questions you had and the frustrations you had when people kept saying no. You've got to be there by their side, because the first bump in the road, if you're not there to support them, they're gone. They are gone. It's hard for a great distributor like yourself. If you're listening to this, you're somebody that's actively involved in your business. So it's not always easy for us to understand, well, all they've got to do is this. All they've got to do is follow 1, 2, 3, listen, get on this call. But not everybody is like you. Not everybody is like you. They're not all as good as you are. Okay, so it is your responsibility, if you want to be successful, is to teach them how to be successful. You focus on their goals. You got to know what your people want. Why did they join the business? Maybe they want to earn some extra money to do this. It's not just about the money always. Maybe there's somebody that wants recognition. Whatever it is, you have to know what it is that they want. And then you've got to teach them to get it. So for example, on this call that I was on with my client today, we talked about in order for someone on their team to reach the next level, they had to have a certain dollar amount. And it was kind of daunting. And we just focused on, how do you sell this X amount, whatever it is, because everybody's is a little bit different. So we actually took it and we broke it down. You need to sell this many of this product in the course of the month, and you will achieve that sales goal. All of a sudden, it didn't seem as daunting. But as the upline, as the sponsor, it's your responsibility to teach them how to do that. Okay, if you need to sell 10 of this product to hit your goal, you need to take the time and show them how to sell it. It's all about recognition. If what is needed for them to achieve their goals is to sell a certain number, have them tell you, hey, tell me when you sold something. Recognize what you're looking for. So if their goal is to sell 10, every time they sell one, recognize them. Hey, let me know how you're doing. Okay, so especially with a new person, you want to stay uber close with them. I just can't stress that enough, because, not everything is sunshine and rainbows and unicorns when you first start your business. So you want to be there as that support person. Like I said, you focus on their goals, and your role as an upline is to remind them. You got to be really, really high touch with a brand new person, not bugging and shoving down their throat, but I don't know, maybe being available is the way that I would say it. Again, just stay close. It's a baby. You have got a new baby distributor. So something else that's important in building a high performance team is to model the behavior that you want, that you need. Because if you're modeling the right behavior, they will be successful. And most adults do learn by observation. So it's really, really important. You can't do it for anybody. You have to show them how to do that and work alongside them. Because if you do it for them, you have not achieved duplication. Okay, so for example, if it's a situation where you want somebody to do an opportunity presentation for you, okay, they're never going to learn. What happens if you go on vacation? So you're going to show them, they're going to observe. So it's I step, you step. It's not you doing it for them. It's you doing it alongside them. Really, really important. Okay. And sometimes you might think, well, you know what? It's just faster and easier if I follow up or I go and I do it. But you know what? The first time it's like that, but you're enabling them and they're never going to get to do it. And I do know this. I know this for a fact. People genuinely want to do it for themselves. They really do. When that person joined your team, they did not join thinking that they're going to fail. They want something. So it's your job to kind of remind them and bring it to the forefront. So here's what I would say in terms of staying close to a new distributor. These aren't hard facts, but I will tell you that in their very first week, I would say you want to touch them with some sort of a personalized email, a text, ideally 2 to 3 live conversations, 5 to 6 times in the first week. Now, I know you might be thinking you don't have time for that. Well, just remember how difficult it was to bring that person on board. Okay. So it's a heck of a lot easier to keep them and help them earn money than it is to replace them. So in the first week, you should be touching them 5 to 6 times. It doesn't take that long. It takes 5 minutes. Okay. When it comes to the second week, you can drop it down and you're looking at 2 to 3 times. The third week, you can drop it down in the fourth week. What you want to make sure is you got to get them to the meeting, whatever that meeting is, whether it's online or it's face-to-face. It does not matter, but you got to get them there, which means you got to be there too. You got to be there too. Remember, it's never fun to go someplace the first time all by yourself, not knowing what to expect. And that's your new person, and you want to make them feel so important and so special and introduce and say, this is the person I was telling you about. I'm so excited to have her on board. It's not you want to meet my upline. It's my upline wants to meet you. Okay. So again, that first month, maybe 5 to 6 times, 3 to 4 times, 2 to 3 times, and at least once a week. But definitely get them on the corporate calls, whatever the case may be, but they're not going to get on if you're not on there with them. So be sure you're inviting them. Now, if they absolutely don't show up, at some point in time, you've got to cut bait and say next, but you've got to give it your all. Really, really important. Another thing that I get asked about is, where do I find these people? Well, when you ask the qualifying questions, which is what I teach, of course, in my courses, in the method that I call the GATE method, I go over that, but I will tell you that you get a pretty darn good idea when you ask people the right questions. I mean, you can tell if somebody is, well, I don't have to go to meetings, do I? I don't have to do this. Well, guess what? That's probably not going to be somebody that's a leader. Not saying you won't give them an opportunity, but they really probably don't have what it takes. I always like to say, ask a busy person. I mean, a busy person, it's amazing how much they can get done. Okay. So think about it this way. Who do you know that has 2 jobs, 3 jobs? Who do you know that's juggling school and a job? Okay. Those are go-getters. Those are the go-getters, and those are the people that you're really looking for. Don't assume that they are too busy. Let them decide if they're too busy. Okay, so again, if you want a high-performing team, you've got to help them to get there. They don't know what to do. Nobody is a born network marketer. Remember what it was like when you were brand new. So you want to stay really, really close to that new person. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention, you've got other people on your team. Maybe they're doing some things. You want to recognize them. Anytime you touch anybody, make sure you're finding something to recognize. You still invite them, but you don't spend a lot of time on that. They've got to do their part, and you kind of meet in the middle. I would say that's really, really important. But focus on those that are doing the work. It's not that you ignore the others, but you don't give of your time. Really, really crucial. I said it before, it's I step, you step. You're not going to do it for them. But I'll tell you this, here's another trick about a high-performing team. If you had somebody that's doing really well, putting the work in and getting the results, and you get a phone call from them, that's the first phone call you return, because they're in business and they're trying to figure it out for themselves. They have done everything that they can before they give you a call. So make sure you're reaching out to them. But new people, man, I'm telling you, that is your bread and butter. And you can take somebody and you can raise them to be high performing and to be a leader, because they don't come to you that way. Sometimes it's got that built-in DNA that they really want it, but you've got to teach them the skills. And if you need help learning those skills, it's work with your upline, work with the coach. That's what I do, is I will help you to build that high performing team. And remember, you got to know what they want, but don't forget, you have to know what you want to. So this is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketer's Den. Be sure to check out the free course that I offer. You can click on it. It's in the show notes, because I'm going to tell you, you can build your business in as little as 15 minutes a day and have it be successful. And you can have it be successful with high performing folks. So click on the link. It's a free course and it's very, very fundamental. Everybody can do it. It's something I've taught for many, many years, and I do it to this day. So everybody have a great one. And here's to your success. And I will see you on the side of success. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.